All right, Dan, so you are in Canada right now. Are you conscious?
I am very conscious. Yes.
Or can you communicate with us?
I am very much so with it here today, Luke.
Beautiful. Okay, so welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. And today, Canada is like Black Friday for the United States, but instead of shoppers lining up for consumer Chinese made slave goods, they're around the block for legalized marijuana as Canada is embarking on a national experiment, becoming the second country in the world to just legalize recreational marijuana. They have also pardoned convictions for former people who were sent to jail because of marijuana. And to talk about this and a lot more, we have Dan Dix of pressfortruth.ca, who of course has done a lot of research into the topic of medical marijuana. He has done a lot of investigations. He has done a lot of painstaking practices, devoted much of his life essences into this specific topic. And Dan, holy cow, major news coming out of Canada. What's your take on everything that's happening there right now?
Well, first of all, let's just say right out at the bat, it is a step in the right direction towards ending prohibition, something that has been going on for a long time here in Canada, where it's just wrong to criminalize someone, to charge someone with a crime for a non-violent crime where they're not hurting anyone else. So this is a step in the right direction, but people need to understand around the world that it's not quite exactly as it seems. There's a little bit of a bait and switch here. It's a little bit of a Trojan horse, if you will, this offer of legalization. And I often say that with quotes because what we are getting is not exactly what was promised to us or what the people thought they were getting. It's not like you can just walk into a dispensary today and grab, purchase any kind of recreational cannabis that you choose. No, the industry has been monopolized behind the scenes, and you are now only able to get access to the licensed producers' cannabis. And this is largely coming from Monsanto issued seed. This is irradiated cannabis, which has the medicinal benefits reduced. So you'll still get high from it, so you won't really realize that you're not getting the medicinal benefits. But that's the only access that Canadians will have to cannabis. It differs from province to province. This is federal legislation, but we have 10 provinces here that deal with things differently. And here in British Columbia, I know there is one store that is being allowed to operate. It's located in Kamloops, British Columbia, and it's the one and only store that BC residents will be able to buy their recreational cannabis from, or they'll have to order it online. So, Luke, there's a lot of things that still need to be worked out here. A lot of variables. There's the driving issue that a lot of people are talking about. The fact that they can now roadside cotton swab your mouth and collect your DNA, and you can do hard time. The penalties, in fact, under legalization are now more severe than they were before legalization.
Yes. Let me correct you on two things. It's not about sorry. It's not about, it's a boot. And the second thing is they could now arrest you for smoking marijuana and driving and make you convict you of a DUI because of this?
Well, yes. Here's the thing. They can collect your DNA sample with a saliva swabbing of your mouth on the side of the road and get data back to suggest whether or not you have THC in your system. Now, as people who consume cannabis will know, you can smoke a joint, and obviously, the next day, the following day, you're obviously fine to drive. In fact, many people don't feel impaired, as it were, even when they do smoke cannabis. But according to the law, if it's in your system, the slightest amount, we're talking, you're not going to be able to smoke about a month before you drive. So at any given time...
Yeah, that's important to know. It's because marijuana is in your system for 30 days. A drug like cocaine is in your system for a day to 2 days max. So this whole DNA cotton swabbing thing, that's extremely Orwellian and extremely worrisome, to say the least.
Yeah, and as I said, the penalties are even more strict now. You could face upwards of 14 years in prison if you get caught marketing to a minor, selling to a minor, or things of that nature, where it didn't used to be quite that extreme. Now, they did announce that they will be pardoning people who have been convicted for this nonviolent crime, which I think is also a big move. It's also definitely a step in the right direction. And I think other countries need to pay attention to that and hopefully follow suit. So hopefully Canada is going to lead the way in that sense. But again, people need to understand there is some things going on behind the scenes here. I made a documentary film about it called The Trudeau Deception. I put it out in 2015 warning people what was going to come down the road if they voted in Justin Trudeau under this legalization ticket. And sure enough, here we are. They're monopolizing the industry behind the scenes. And we need to support the mom and pop shops, the free market, the entrepreneurial people here in British Columbia, for example, who built the industry. They developed the strains that are helping with people's cancers, with people's epilepsy. They're the ones who have developed these edibles. They're the ones who have developed the extract market. These are the people who really created this industry, and they're being wiped out. They're being squashed. They're being silenced. So we need to support the craft cannabis growers moving forward, not just these mega conglomerate LPs, as they're called, who are getting all the licenses.
Wow, really great information. Of course, there's more to the story than what you're being told, because on social media and on the mainstream media, they're just showing a bunch of people getting high and celebrating and having the time of their lives, eating a whole bunch of food. I'll bet you that the stocks of Krispy Kreme and what do you guys have there? Hoosiers? Hosiers? What is that? Tim Hortons? Tim Hortons stocks are probably going up sky high right now. But let me correct me if I'm wrong. I want to look at some of the legal aspects here, because even the Toronto police are releasing an official statement saying, stop calling us about marijuana. It is now legal. That's what the Toronto Police Department released today. And according to these new regulations, correct me if I'm wrong, Dan, you must be over 18 to purchase marijuana. You can own up to 30 grams. It's legal to consume marijuana now at private residences, indoors and outdoors. But also, this also raises a lot of questions for the United States, which of course has been waging a war against this plant, and they've been losing this war against this plant in their major war on drugs, which is pretty much pushing the military-industrial complex, the police-state complex, the prison-industrial complex, the medical-industrial complex. But now it seems people are finally waking up to the realities of it. And right now, people are saying that people could get banned from even entering the United States because of these new changes in laws. And even the U.S. Border Patrol agents released 5 important things that people should know. And they said specifically, a pot pardon in Canada does not translate to the United States. Heading into the U.S. for weed-related businesses is also very questionable and quasi-illegal now. U.S. citizens coming into Canada for pot tourism must be honest. And the last statement that they released is, quote, don't lie. And of course, a lot of people are going to be honest, because a lot of the laws in some of the U.S. states are very draconian and make absolutely no sense. So there's going to be a lot of complications also, and also a major effect on the United States legally, with some states who are going to take advantage of this and try to, throw more pot-smoking Canadians and Americans who visit to jail. But ultimately, this is also going to have a positive effect with a lot of gang members and a lot of gangs not having the market control of it, where people could get it legally. The price should go down of it, and there should be less gang and criminal activity. So how do you see this playing out within the next few years in Canada, especially in greater relation to the United States?
Well, I don't see the black market, as they like to call it, going away anytime soon. I'd rather call it the free market, Luke, because that's truly what it is. And I think we're going to continue to see that flourish moving forward, because people are understanding that this is a monopolistic takeover, and the government is even issuing the government-issued cannabis in specific packages that are not branded. They have special certain barcodes on them. Well, there's just going to create an industry of fake packages so that people can consume the real kind of cannabis that they want to consume. So yeah, I don't think the black market, or as I call it, the free market, is going to go away anytime soon. But I think there's a lot of things to work out in the coming months and years. There's going to be a lot of constitutional challenges. As you said, crossing the border is going to be a serious issue. I mean, I guess Justin Trudeau is not allowed to cross the border anymore. I guess executives from Coca Cola are not going to be able to cross the border anymore. I mean, they just announced they want to do a deal with some of these major companies like Canopy Growth and Aurora and Tilray and these major LPs. So look, there's going to be a lot to work out in the coming months and years, really, to work out all the kinks. But it's a step in the right direction, but we really need to support the mom and pops now more than ever before they shut them down. I'm going to be going into our sponsors at Liberty Farms Dispensary today. I'm going to be going live at 4:20 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to update everybody about what's currently going on. So we need to support guys like that moving forward. So yes, it's good news today, but don't get your hopes up too much, folks. This is a little bit of a Trojan horse style bait and switch where they're monopolizing the industry behind the scenes. Don't forget that.
And there's a lot of information to know that, of course, the mainstream media is not pushing out there for people not get caught up in their police-style grid system that they have established for anyone. And of course, you're sponsored by a dispensary. Bless you, Dan, for all the work you do. Dan, you have been recently attacked. Even censored on Facebook. Your page was just completely deleted. So if you guys are out there, please definitely do support Dan Dix of PressForTruth.ca. His link to his YouTube channel will be in the description. A lot of other independent media have gone completely down because they were just completely eviscerated. Dan Dix still had his page deleted. He's still keeping up the fight and informing us about all the important updates that are happening in Canada. Also, very interestingly, all the pot stocks also just went down as soon as weed was legalized. Any last final comments on the stock market and on this whole entire situation that just unfolded in Canada, Dan?
Sure. Well, I look at the stock market dip as a healthy correction. There's been some obviously very bullish people in the last 4 or 5 months. When you have companies like Coca Cola announcing that they're going to be doing a drink deal with these LPs, you're going to have a lot of bullish people flooding into the market. So I think we're seeing a healthy correction, but it's not a space that I'm interested in because I'd rather support the mom and pops and not, get in bed with the monopolistic fat cat insiders who are getting all the deals. I'm not surprised about the stock market dip. It's probably a healthy correction. But out of that, I'd rather support the locals, the mom and pops, and the craft cannabis producers moving forward.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Coca-Cola is talking about having a marijuana drink. Of course, Monsanto is trying to leech their way into the marijuana business. And trust me, you don't want to be smoking some Monsanto marijuana, to say the least. Dan, thank you so much for all your hard work and investigative journalism that you do up there in Canada. Really appreciate the update. Again, support Dan Dix at PressForTruth.ca. He's under attack, just like all of us are under attack. And the only thing allowing us to still be here and continue this work is you and your support. Your clicks, your shares, your donations mean more than ever. And that's why I love you guys. Thank you again so much for watching. Stay tuned for more.